Okay, so what we're going to do today then is just look at some quadratic function stuff. I just think that's difficult for people to digest from one lesson, and it's all pretty much in one lesson. So we're just going to look at some key points. So all you have to do today, you guys, is after our lesson, I just want you to go into, what is this week? Oh, Thanksgiving week. It's called Thanksgiving week. So when we're done, just go into the Thanksgiving week webinar and discussion and just post what you learned. That's all you have to do. And then just make sure that you go back in and you respond to somebody else's post, because if you don't do that, then you can only earn a PP even if you post an amazing thing, you know. So let me close this out. So you guys, that's all you have to do today in the webinar to get credit for it is, hang on, let me close this. It always does this. I think I need to update my computer. So anyway, just go in, post what you learned, read somebody else's post, and post a comment, and you'll get full credit for the webinar. So that's all we're going to do today. All right, you guys, any questions about expectations, objectives?
Wait, so after doing the webinar, then we're going to go do what we learned from the webinar?
Yep, you can just do it right away. So you'll be all done.
All right.
All right, so somebody in the central classroom is saying that they love English, and we
Love English.
We don't want to hear that right now. Right, you guys? Right? That's right. Look, that's a sad face. Sad face. All right. Okay. Math, science. Yeah. Rocks. Very good, Katie. Good job. All right, you guys. Let's start. Let us start. Okay. So here's what I want you guys to do. So pick a notepad, any pod you want, and write your name at the top. Write your name. It's just like, you know, piece of paper, write your name. Very nice, you guys, very nice. Tanya, are you there? I saw you log in. Hello, Tanya. Unless I accidentally denied you, but I thought you, oh yeah, there you are. Oh, hello. How are you? Hopefully everything is going well with your new baby too. Are you getting some rest? I haven't really talked to you since then. Haha, no. I know. But later, you'll never remember that after like a year or something when they start sleeping. Okay, so you guys did that. You passed number one. Yay. So number two, for each graph, write whether it has a minimum or a maximum. So we have graph one on top and we have graph two on bottom. So when you do number two, just say graph one has a minimum or graph one has a maximum. So that's what you want to do for A. Then for B, you just want to write the vertex. So what is the vertex? What are the coordinates of the vertex? For C, write the coordinates of the zeros. And for D, write the equation for the axis of symmetry line. Now, I know, here's what I want you guys to do. Raise your hand if you have not gotten to this yet. Okay, so Elliot has not. Okay, and you guys have not. Katie, did you get to this yet? The quadratic, or this stuff yet? No, you did not. Okay, and then I think actually Emma and Tanya, you guys already did get to this, right? I'm pretty sure. Or, yeah, you did? Okay. I couldn't remember because I know, Tanya, you were off a little bit, but then it seemed like you were kind of catching back up. And Emma, I'm pretty sure you did get to this. Did you? I couldn't tell. Kind of. Were you going to say yes? Yeah. Okay. You think so? Okay, then here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm actually going to do the first one for you, so that way you can understand if you've never seen it before, and then you guys can do the second one. How's that sound?
Pretty good.
That's good? Okay. All right, so let's look at the first one. So when we say, so these right here, these are all quadratics. And you can tell it's a quadratic. If you look at this top equation, see how there's a 2, a power of 2? Quadratics will always have a power of 2 somewhere. So if you see that, and you'll see quadratics written in different forms, but if you see this power of 2, you know that it's going to form a parabola like this, opening down, or a parabola like the bottom one, opening up. Okay, so anytime you have something that's squared. So on this first graph, it says for each graph, write whether it has a minimum or maximum. Well, if I look at this first graph, this point right here means it has a maximum height right here, right? Because down here it doesn't stop, it just goes down forever and ever and ever, so it doesn't actually reach anything. So what we look at here is, think of someone jumping. This person jumps and reaches a maximum height here. So for 2A, we'll just we'll just put a little a right here. I would say this has a maximum. Okay. And then for B says find the vertex. Well, the vertex is always going to be at the minimum or the maximum. So the vertex on this one, I go over 1 and up 2. So my vertex would be 1, 2. So the vertex is that maximum or that minimum, the point where the graph goes from going up to going down or from going down to going up. Does that make sense for you guys? Yeah? Okay. So if I go back to the maximum, if somebody said, what is the max? You would say the max, and you would always look at the y-coordinate, the max height is 2, right? That person jumped 2 feet or something like that. So our max is 2. Now if you guys said the max was 1, 2, I wouldn't mark you off. Okay, but typically when somebody says what's the max, they're looking for this height. How high did it go? They're looking at the y-axis. Okay, so that's A, B. So let me show you C. The coordinates of the zeros. So the zeros are just the x-intercepts. It's just the reason we call them zeros is because the y-coordinate on the x-intercept is always 0, right? So if I found this first one, that would be 3, 0. And the second one over here is -1, 0. So the y-coordinate is always 0, so we tend to call those zeros. Okay? Those are our zeros. But the zeros are the x-intercepts. Okay, so last one, you guys. So on D, and these are just key points in a quadratic, really important when you start doing word problems too. So the equation for the axis of symmetry line, well, you guys notice if I take and I draw a line, so let's say I'm going to draw this line, and I'm going to make it nice and straight. So I'm going to draw this line right down here. Can you guys picture if I made that into a mirror? The left side, does it look like the right side?
You betcha.
You betcha. You betcha, Elliot, exactly. So that's why it's called the axis of symmetry, because on each side it's symmetric. So that is the line for the axis of symmetry. And what we could do is we can write the equation for that. Okay, so if I was going to write an equation for a line that's vertical, does anyone know how I would write that? The equation of that dotted purple line? Would it be, first of all, how about this? Would it be an x equals or a y equals?
X equals?
Oh,
No, wait.
yeah.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
All right, cool.
It is. So Elliot did it. It's an x equals. So vertical lines are always x equals. So you go over on the x-axis to 1, and that is your equation. So you go to 1 and you draw a line down. That would be the equation for the axis of symmetry line. So on all of these, it'll always be x equals. Does that make sense? And the graph opens down. And another way you can tell the graph opens down is, do you guys...
There's a negative.
Oh, very good, Katie. There's a negative in the beginning. Awesome. It reflects over the x-axis. Oh my gosh, all your transformations are coming to you. That is awesome. I'm so proud of her. That is really good, you guys. And here's one other thing I wanted to point out that you can see from the equation. Do you guys see that the vertex is 1, 2? And you notice this is like absolute value. You notice that it's x minus 1? And if you remember, if you did transformations on the absolute values, it's always the opposite. So there's our 1. And then the number on the end is always your y-intercept, and it always stays the same, so that's 2. So you can always pull the vertex from your transformations. We shifted right 1, and we shifted up 2. All right, so that's just a quick overview of key points. You guys try it for the bottom. Vertexes, it all starts to make sense after a while. Like Katie just connected all this with the negative, with the transformations. And so it will stick in your head, and it'll just get easier and easier as you go. All right, so it looks like you guys are just about done. And let me look at what you guys are seeing. So, okay, so if we look at how you guys did, so everybody is saying it has a minimum. You guys are awesome, very good. And the minimum value is down here at -2. Good job. So A is minimum. Your vertex is at 2, -2, and it looks like you guys all said that too. So way to go. And then your intercepts or your zeros are 1 and 3, so you guys have got 1, 0, 3, 0. And I really like that you guys wrote those as coordinate points, because that's always a hard thing for people for some reason. And then your axis of symmetry would be right down the middle. It would be the x coordinate of the vertex, and you guys are awesome. You guys totally rock. Very nice. So when you get to that lesson, you guys will be like, This is so easy, Miss Elliott. And you guys are going to ace it. You guys are going to be advanced. So good job. Okay. So one last thing, you guys, and then we'll let you go. And again, I don't know why this is, I think this is just got copied over from something else. It should say quadratics. How about? So we are doing quadratics, not x and y intercepts, just to let you guys know. Okay, so on this case, we are going to now do the same thing we just did. Now that you guys are experts, but we're going to do it based on the equation, kind of what Katie was doing. So we're going to look at the equation and determine whether it has a minimum or maximum, and the value this time. We're going to look and determine the vertex, and the third thing is whether it will open up or down. So, do you guys want to try the first one by yourself, or do you want me to do the first one and you do the second one?
You do the first one.
Elliott's voting for me, do first one. Yeah, okay. Gloria, how about you? You get a vote too. Yeah, okay. All right, so some of you guys might already know it, but I'm gonna do the first one with you. All right, so if we look at this first one, here's what I see. Okay, whether it has a minimum or maximum. So the first thing is I look at this negative right here. Okay, so you guys see the negative? That negative means that, what Katie said last time, this is going to open down. So it's going to look like this, right? It's going to open down because it means it reflected. Well, if something opens down, does that have a minimum or maximum?
Maximum.
Oh, very good, very good. Just waiting for you guys, very good. So it definitely has a maximum. Okay, so good job. Okay, so now we want to find the value. Well, before I find the value, I'm going to first find the coordinates of this vertex. So if I want to know the coordinates of the vertex, I look inside at the number that's next to x, and I look outside at the number that's where the y-intercept normally is. So my vertex is always going to be opposite of what's in with x, so -3, and then same as what's on the outside, so -6. So my vertex is at -3, -6. That's where my vertex is. So based on that, do I know what the max value is then? Is it going to be the -3 right here, or is it going to be the -6? What do you guys think?
Wait, if it's negative, then why is it a maximum?
Well, that's just the value. So it kind of looks like this. Let me just draw a picture. Right? And so this is like 1, 2, 3. And then I didn't really draw this to scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh.
You see how that is? So even though it's down here in the negative quadrant, it still has a maximum.
Yeah.
So what would the max be, though? What would be the value of this max?
6. -6.
Very good. -6. So the value would be -6. Good job. So we did A, we did B, oh, and we did C, right? It opens down. Opens down. All right, you guys. So think about how I use the equation to give me all this information. I can look in the equation first of all and see if there's a negative, because that tells me if it opens down or opens up, which then tells me if I have a minimum or a maximum. I then look at the transformations. This +3 means it shifted right. Oh, sorry, it's a -3. Did I say -3? Oh, I didn't draw it very good. This should be minus. Sorry, you guys, minus. My graph actually, the scale goes down here, not over there. So it means it shifted to the left. There, how's that? Shifted to the left 3. Okay, so there's your 1, 2, 3, and then it shifted down 6. And so that's how I got my vertex, which then tells me my maximum. Okay. All right, you guys, try the second one on your own. Give it a try. And then we will wrap up for the day. That's -6. And that's 1, 2. All right, Emma's off and running. Good job. And so is Katie. Very nice. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has an iPad and a stylus, but if you guys do, there's 2 whiteboards up there that you can also just draw on. So if you have one, and I know we have them here too, so if you guys ever want those for our webinars, you can just check out the iPad and the stylus, and then you can draw on the whiteboards if you want. It's up to you. All right, Elliot. Emily. No thinking in math. You just type. There's no thinking. Gloria. Is that the oh, that's the old one.
It's completely different from the first one.
No, it's the same.
There's no number.
There's a 1.
In front of the parentheses.
Oh. There, is that what's confusing you guys?
Yeah.
All right, so what is there if there's no number?
A 1, maybe?
A 1. Is that positive or negative 1 then? Positive. Positive. Very good. So that's just like a positive 1.
Okay.
Now you guys know which way it opens.
So did you say this one opens down, right?
That one opens down.
So this one opens up?
Good job, Gloria. Good job.
Wait, the second one opens up? You mean like it goes like that? Okay.
You got it. Yep, very good. Very, very good. All right, so Elliot is now typing and Gloria is now typing. Good job. All right, I think Tanya might be done. Let me see. Almost. Let me see. Opens up. You got the vertex. And, oh, and Tanya, good. Okay, so Tanya is done. So we will determine if you are right very soon. And it looks like Emma is done. ABC. And Katie is done. All right. Looks like Emily is close. Oh no, she is done. Are you done, Emily? Yeah, you're done. Yeah. All right, Elliot.
Huh?
It's up to you.
About what?
You're almost done.
I'm not really, because I don't know how to do this. Like, I'm really confused right now.
All right, I'm gonna hopefully unconfuse you soon. So I think you guys already know which way it opens. I'll make a picture. We'll do light blue. All right. All right, Elliot. Are you got it?
Well, part of it, I think.
Okay, so if I look at you guys all said opens up. Excellent job. Opens up. It definitely opens up, and that is because it is a positive 1 instead of the negative. So now let's look at the vertex here. So the vertex, you guys have 1, 5, and Gloria, I can't see your vertex. Hang on. Gloria, what did you say? Gloria, you are missing the vertex, I think. And then that's okay. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. So everybody is saying 1, 5, and you guys are right on because it's opposite of what's next to the x, so that'd be a positive 1. And then it's the same as where your y-intercept is, so that's a positive 5. So good job, you guys. Vertex is in fact 1, 5. So does it have a minimum or maximum? Well, since it opens up, you guys all said minimum, and you said the value was 5. And that is exactly right. And the minimum equals 5. It's always your y, how far up you went. So nice job, you guys. Excellent job. Any questions on key points on a quadratic?
No.
No? Emily? Katie? Emma? Tanya, how about you guys? No? Tanya, how about you? Okay, good. All right, you guys, so I'm just going to conclude this today. Like I said, we just had a short one today. I was trying to save you guys a little bit. So for our review, you guys identified key points in the quadratic function. You did an awesome job. That's a really good step when you get there to know how to do all that. And so what I'm going to have you guys do now is you'll actually go into Schoology, open up Thanksgiving week, which is under quarter 2, unit 2B, and just post what you learned. So post anything that you guys learned. It could be anything you want. And then after you're done posting, refresh your page or whatever, and then read somebody else's post and either post a comment about what they posted or post some insight you gained, or I forgot about that. That was really good. Boy, I'm glad you posted that for me. Thank you. Something like that. All right, you guys, and then don't forget that you can work this week. There's only 3 weeks left. Did you guys know there's only 3 weeks left
For what?
for this quarter?
Are you serious?
For real?
3 weeks?
Yeah. And the third week is short. So
Why?
think about because it's, I don't know, I think grades are due like Thursday or something. I want to say that.
Oh, that's
So really, you guys only have 2.5 weeks after this week. So think about where you guys are. Think about what you need to do. And then, put some metal to it. You can do it. All right, you guys.
What?
And then, yes,
Question.
question
What if
away.
we fail